Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. I'm grateful to be here with you, extremely grateful. The title of today's presentation is Man versus Male. Man versus Male. The basic theme is going to be this. Only honor makes us men. The male genitalia makes us male, but only honor makes us men. Same thing can be said for women. Female versus woman. The female genitalia makes her a female, but only honor makes her a woman. But I'll be talking about man versus male. And we're going to we're going to go into what people historically thought of as being a man. They would say, a real man does this, a real man does that. And we're going to look at that and see how true is it. Now, what the parts that go with the historical concept of being a man is to be aggressive, dominant, sexual, and wealthy, making money. Money, sex, women. That's a real man. Now, that's what people, that's a real man. But I say this. You could have somebody, a male, who is super rich, super tough, super smart, mansions, and has all the wealth you could want. But if he doesn't have honor, he's a loser. He's a failure. Only honor makes us a success. Of course, then we want to achieve all we can and make all the money we can and take care of our health and whatnot. And only honor makes us men. Look at money. Let's say you say, well, this is a guy, I mean, he's rich. He's a multi-billionaire. Well, that's nice. But what if he made it in the cartels? Or what if he made it selling whiskey? What if he made it selling cigarettes, exporting death all over the world? There's no honor in that. So that money didn't make him a man. Might have been a male, you can't deny that because of the anatomy. That's not being a man. Let's say you have a single man having sex with a lot of women. People say, hey, way to go, bro, man, you're really hitting it. What if he's breaking their hearts? If they fall in love with him and he just abandons one after the other because he's a good-looking guy, a wealthy guy, women are attracted to him, and he goes through one after the other, hurting them and not caring. So you could say, so what the old way is saying is, man, he really scores. That's a man. No, that's not a man. That's a male. Well, let's say a man is married and he's taking an oath of fidelity to his wife and he's having other women on the side. That doesn't show manhood. It's dishonorable. He's betrayed his wife. He's betrayed his oaths. Let's say a guy is big and strong and tough. He just beats guys up, goes in the bars, beats them up. But he's doing it for dominance and power, and he's showing off. Does that make him manly? As opposed to somebody who defends a weaker person who's being picked on and then hurts somebody, defends them and beats up somebody to protect another person? That would be honorable. But just going in to take out your frustration. Let's say somebody, his girlfriend, he had a fight with his girlfriend, so he goes beat up somebody. That doesn't make him a real man. The fact that he can hurt somebody. It's in what context? Is it to protect the weak or just to indulge his ego? If he's just indulging his ego, that power, that physical power, that toughness, that tremendous fighting spirit, he's just a male, got the anatomy of a male, but he's certainly not a man. So basically we're talking about in degrees. I mean, you could have somebody who is a man because he supports his children. Maybe he's had children from different women. He takes care of all those children. That's being very manly. That's really good. So it's a mixed thing. He's done that. But on the other hand, he hasn't stayed around with any of those women, and some of them are really in love with them and hurting that he's not with them. He's hurt them. So that would subtract from it. But he's, in some ways, honorable. So there's different degrees. There's 5%, 10%, 50%, 100% man. When someone's a real man, there's a Jewish word which really captures the spirit. It's called a mensch. Now, he's a real mensch. It's a real man. That's like close to 100%, 95%, 90%. So it's not all or none. It's just, how much of a man are you? Are you using your strength in a good way? Are you making your money in an honorable way? Are you spending it in an honorable way? Are you helping others with it, or just indulging your vanity? You have a beautiful wife. That's a trophy that you might have seen as a trophy in our society. But how do you treat her? How do you treat her? You show her respect. Do you encourage her? The fact that you have a beautiful wife, that doesn't make you a great man. You might be just rich and good looking and charming. But if you're not treating her well, you're less of a man for that. You're more of a male. So let's look at it another way in terms of man versus male. First, let me tell you about the cow study. If you bring a cow to a bull and the cow's in heat, that bull will mount her. That's a fact, and it's no surprise. If you bring her the next day, he won't mount her. No. But if you bring another cow in heat to him, he'll mount her. So there is a thing within the genetics of men to spread the seeds, the survival of their genes, to spread it out that way. Males have that to spread, males have that to spread the seed. So any normal male has that in him towards women. That's normal. But that's being a male. But a man who's committed to an honorable way of life will discipline himself and restrain those urges and be faithful to the woman, his wife, his girlfriend, whomever. And he's not going to seek to these so-called conquests to just boost his ego up and hurt women, break women's hearts and so forth. So there's an example in terms of sexuality, male versus man. However honorable you are, and that's how much of a man you are is measured by your honor. The way to increase your honor, and I want to define honor to begin with, and then tell you how to increase your honor, which is how to increase your manliness. I want to tell you how to be more of a man, more of a mensch, and by showing you how to be more honorable. So I'm defining honor as loyalty to your highest constructive values as enshrined within the 4 commandments of honor, while striving to cause no harm, physically and emotionally. And now the 4 commandments of honor, they could also be called the 4 principles of honor, or the 4 self-commandments of honor, because we're commanding the honor within ourselves to arise into consciousness and be expressed in word, thought, and action. So the 4 commandments of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. A man who says I'm responsible just doesn't do blaming. That's honorable. If he just blames others, that's not honorable. Less of a man. Take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. So a real man doesn't just complain, oh, life is doing this to me, that thing. No, he says, these bad things are happening, but I get stronger from it. I gain more wisdom, more compassion, toughens me up. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And then the 4th commandment is one of 2. Someone doesn't believe in God or wish to address God, it's I seek always to serve my highest values. If I believe in God as I do, it's God you wish is my only wish. So for me, the 4 commandments of honor are God you wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. These 4 commandments, by following that, we become more manly. We're greater men. Then we go from just being a male into greater heights of being a real man. Now we're talking about being a real man, a real mensch. Then you want to go even further into being a true man. We must commit our lives to the path of honor, to becoming what I call a disciple of honor by taking a pledge, a lifetime pledge, to following the commandments, these 4 commandments of honor for life. Goes this way, because a real man could commit to these principles of virtue and of honor, the great code of honor. We'll raise our hand now, people repeat the code after me, the pledge after me. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor. And I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. And I tell people, welcome to the way of honor. Bring honor to yourself and to your family. I've administered this to close to 1,200 people by now. Over 95% of the people feel good right away. Over 95% of the people feel more hope right away. And over 92% feel more immediately, just like that. Now, to really strengthen ourselves in the way of honor, to be strengthened in our manhood, we then take the bridge. We would then commit to a bridge between honor and reality. And the bridge is this. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So we do the 4 commandments of honor and then the bridge. God, your wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? The repetition is preparation for application. This will help us internalizing it. Do it 3 times a day for the rest of our life. So honor becomes the gold standard for everything we do. Every thought, every word, and every action. This makes us greater men. This makes us true men. We rise into greater degrees of honor. We rise into greater degrees of manhood. Now, for those who want to go even further on this path to being truly great men, then we'll commit to what I call the supremacy of honor code. The supremacy of honor code is this: honor before pride, honor before money, honor before anger, honor before sex, honor before fear, honor before everything, honor before life itself. So we're saying honor is our first priority when we're saying that, when we're taking that pledge. Now that's rising to great degrees of being a true man. You're putting honor before everything. That really defines a man, honor. Now, then I offer people, and I don't offer too many. People have to be really sincere and want to go this path, to then take the pledge to be a devotee of honor. So the pledge to be a devotee of honor goes this way. As a devotee of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the supremacy of honor code. And I'll bring it to the world for a more just society. That brings us even to more elite levels of honor, where an honorable man, a true man is not only concerned about him, he's concerned about himself and his family and loved ones, but is also concerned about the state of the world and wants to improve it, to add value to the world. So in both of the way he makes his livelihood and in bringing honor into the world for a more just society, bringing justice into society through the means of honor. So then a devotee of honor says the 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, and the supremacy of honor code. Now, the supremacy of honor code is done once a day, at least once a day. I do it 3 times a day, but at least once a day. And then the 4 commandments of honor and bridge are done 3 times a day. So in following this path of honor, as he become more and more of a man, a mensch, a truly great man. So you're going beyond being just a male, going into being a man. We're male by birth and genetic. We're men by discipline and commitment to the code of honor. We're males by genetics and birth. It's even circumstance of accident. We're men by choice. Males by birth, men by choice. Males by birth, men by choice. So every male needs to make a decision. Do you just want to be a male or do you want to be a real man?